Amy Meyer from Utah was on a public street right next to a slaughterhouse when she noticed that a cow that was extremely sick was being moved around by a tractor. Now, she pulled out her smartphone, as I believe anyone else would do, and she started taking video of it. Now, because of the fact that she did that, she will face prosecution thanks to an ag-gag bill that was passed in Utah. Now, the law states that you are not allowed to record any type of agricultural process, okay? So that means slaughterhouses. I guess if something shady is happening on a farm, you're not allowed to tape that, even if you're on public land, okay? Which, by the way, the ACLU perfectly notes that that is unconstitutional. We'll get to that in a second. But this is something that's popping up throughout the country. There are at least half a dozen states that have proposed similar legislation, and it's a way to make sure that we don't hold slaughterhouses accountable for any type of animal abuse or anything that they could possibly be doing that could put our health in jeopardy.
Now, think about the legislation in the first place. You're not allowed to tape things that are going wrong in a business. Why?
Even if you're on public land and what they're doing is in plain sight, which is what happened here. Now, when the cops were called, by the way, they had told the police, the people who were running the slaughterhouse, that she tried to jump their barbed wired fence. And the police said, yeah, no, that actually didn't happen. We don't see any damage to the fence, so we don't believe you.
But they arrested her anyway.
Yes.
Because there's the ag-gag bill, and they're like, how dare you try to be a good citizen and record something going wrong and animals being possibly abused? I mean, it's mind-bending that we have laws that say that you can't show something going wrong. Why? Of course, the people who pass the laws are the ones who got donations from the guys running those factories. In fact, in Utah, it was that farm's owner who helped push the legislation through so that he could never be held accountable.
I did more research on that, Cenk, and that slaughterhouse's owner is the mayor of the town that she's in.
He's the mayor of the town. He pushes through a bill that says nobody can tape or, and hence criticize my slaughterhouse. Well, isn't that convenient? I believe, by the way, if you're a conservative, that's called crony capitalism, right? Giving an unfair advantage to one particular company. And in this case, the company that the mayor happens to own.
This is disastrous for a number of different reasons. Even if you don't care about animal abuse and that's not something that you're that interested in, think about the implications it'll have on the media, right? So there are some bills proposed that actually extend to companies, private industry, not just agriculture, right? So all of a sudden, journalists aren't able to hold private companies accountable if there's corruption or something shady going on.
Yeah, no,
you're not allowed to tape it. You're not allowed to ask any questions. Move along.
Now, if you can't tape inside of a farm, a slaughterhouse, whatever it is, what stops them from saying, well, that's a company. I'm also going to prevent you from taping inside a restaurant. And so if you happen to see rats in the restaurant, you're not allowed to tape it. Otherwise, you'll be arrested. Nothing stops them. Right. If you can't tape inside a bank, you can't tape inside any business. If you can't tape inside of it, can you say anything bad against the business? I mean, how far down the road of fascism are we going to go? I mean, it sounds alarmist to say fascism, but here it is, corporations or companies saying you're not allowed to criticize us, and the state says, yes, absolutely.
You're not allowed to hold companies accountable, which is ridiculous. So what is the ACLU?
What if you were inside that fertilizer plant and you saw in West Texas, and you saw that they had so much more explosive material in there than they were allowed to have? By an order of magnitude, 100 times more, 1,000 times more. And you recorded it, and because for safety reasons. No. I mean, if they could shut you down from recording inside a farm, they could certainly shut you down at a fertilizer plant. Yeah. That isn't very different, right? You would have saved all those lives. No. But you might have cost that business an extra buck, so the government will arrest you. Is it possible? Well, it's already happening.